Computer. So good morning and welcome to today's live trading London session with Harmonic Scanner and pitchforks. I hope you are all doing well. Had a nice bank holiday for those of you in the UK. So Chance on Go Live had some setups this morning, but none of them are really playing out. The list was HourGlass sell, HourGUSD sell, Euro Ord buy. It was trying to get above the 62 EMA. EuroCAD sell, Euro NZD, but it had fallen down below his pitchfork. That was a buy, but it was a shark scan. Euro USD and NZD JPY. Let's see where to start. I also had some new scans on HourGlass, NZD CAD, GBP NZD, Euro JPY and USD JPY. There's USD news this afternoon, but nothing this morning. I've got a new schedule starting this week. I'm going to do this time every day, Monday to Thursday. Just do the London session. I'm not going to do New York as well because I find it a bit tiring, and I want to do HFX, particularly binary, for the weekends. I think that's something that a lot of people want. So I'm testing that at the moment. So I want to split my time between the two, but obviously in the week for me, it's pitchforks. This is my style of trading. I'm just used to the charts, looking at the charts this way. So let's look at that Euro NZD one first, and you can see it's right down there. And if you look at the scanner, you can see it on here, this one, and that's what it's doing at the moment. So it's just nearly hit the second entry. That is our criteria. We don't enter a shark unless it's at least at the second entry point, 50% to take profit one or at take profit one. And you can see it's dipped back down at the moment. And Chance said it was below his pitchfork. Maybe he hasn't got that new scan because it's just rejecting off quarter theory once, twice, three times. So it does look like it's leveling out for us, but it just depends where we are off that D point, doesn't it? So it hasn't retested the D point. It's worked its way up with all those rejections off quarter theory. And let's look at the gap between each pitchfork leg on EN. So it's a big scan. I'll just go back to the harmonic scan and measure that again. I've forgotten. From there, C to D, that's a 574 pip scan. So that's one of our, it's a fast moving pair, one of the fastest. So you don't always catch the best trades, but when you do catch a great setup, as Chance said this morning, it's really beautiful thing for us. So this is, the bigger the scan, the more powerful. So a very powerful scan at nearly 600 pips. So that's 125 pips per leg for 500. Over that, my maths in my head isn't that good this time in the morning. But anyway, you get the point. So let's just go back to our EN and see if we did mark this up. But we want that 62 is still pointing severely downwards. You can see that downward trend on the 1 minute. So no go for us, and we only want a buy on this. So we need to go down to there. So on the quarter theory, there's nothing doing for us until that 62 turns round like this. So we'll just mark that brush there. We're looking for that 62 to come up for us, and this momentum is still strongly down. If we put a trend line on there, you can see that strong momentum still down there. Okay, so I think we'll put a, well, I can't see a place to put an alert really at the moment. So I don't want to put it on quarter theory because it'll ping off, or maybe I can. I'll just shove an alert on quarter theory on the EN value crossing quarter theory there. That's there, okay. So that's our setup on EN, buy only, shark, and on the scanner, the second entry point is at 1.777, which actually is quite a way up there. So really, we shouldn't really, according to the scanner, be looking at this until we're up at least 1.777, which actually isn't at this point, is it? So, but we love EN, so it's worth waiting for. Chance didn't, he must be on a slightly different scan. He must be, not on a slightly different, he must be on a different scan because he said it to drop below his pitchfork, and I can't even see a pitchfork behind that area at the moment. So I'm just thinking I'm going to put, to remind myself, a horizontal ray up here at 1.777, which is above quarter theory anyway, and I'll just put a little text box in saying entry 2 shark, so I don't forget. $1.7777 for at least the second entry. Okay, so set an alert where you want, where we actually technically shouldn't really be looking at it until it's come up to at least that second quarter theory, and you can see it's still in a strong momentum down. So nothing for us on EN at the moment, but we have set an alert. We'll go to, he had HourGlass sell. Well, I quite like doing the London pairs first, but we'll have a look at that. I wasn't on his entries and exits call last night. So he had this as a sell. We've got this new scan we've put on, and we've had it reject off. We've had the break and the retest off the D point. There, the 62 is now below the 15-minute, and it's dropping down. So I think he might have had something similar today. Let me just get that looking a bit larger. But we're now quite a way off our own pitchfork, aren't we? We can't do this ourselves now because we can't cover anything. We can't cover anything. So we haven't got a setup on HourGlass. Again, that's 65 on the pitchfork leg. So wait until that comes down to that quarter theory. We'll set an alert there, and then we could take a sell off that as the scan plays itself out. So HourGlass quarter theory alert. And that's what we're looking for on that one. Medium range pair, great for beginners, might not play out until New York, a few hours later on, we don't know, because you want the break and the retest there before carrying on down, and you've got 24 pips there. So remember, you only really need 1 or 2 good trades a day to get what we want. So that's HourGlass. I'm going to close that one. EN, HourGlass, we've set our alerts. GA was again a new scan. So it's now work. Oh, it's quite an interesting point. Cut on the hourly, this is above the 62, coming above a pitchfork and a quarter theory. Let's see how far apart they are on the 1 minute. So this is now GA is very fast. This is looking quite a good one for us, I think. To see what we've got here. So on GA, D point, if you've got this scan, 31st of August, and then you can see it didn't come back and to give us a break and a retest of the D point. it has done all that rejection off quarter theory, and that's 68 between the pips between the legs, so we can take trades off the quarter theory. So we've had all that rejection towards the back end of last week, all at the end of New York off quarter theory. Another rejection as market closed. Market open, it dipped down in Tokyo, and then more rejections, all these rejections off quarter theory. So it only wants to go up. That's all along Tokyo, and now it's making its move very nicely into our area. So let's magnify this, see what we've got. So we've had that break and retest off the pitchfork, that break and retest there, and off quarter theory, and that was 11 pips up to the end of that wick, and now it's giving us a break and a retest off the quarter theory. So let's put our long position on. GA's fast, 15 pips stop loss, and we're gonna, you can see that upward momentum here. This is your trend line. So you can put it slightly out like that. That's very tight. I think I prefer that. So let's see how this plays out. I think this is looking very good for us. So our rejection off our break and retest off quarter theory, we've had 4.4 pips. It's a little bit wicky. Let's have a look at the 15-minute candle, which we've just passed. So momentum, break, retest. Here's the pitchfork, break, retest up to quarter theory, back to the 1-minute trend, and working its way up here. So we just want it to curl up a bit more on there, and I think this is good for a buy. I'm just going to look at the 15-minute candle. So we've got, could be a good sign for us because we've got a doji candle indecision. I'll just magnify that for you. So on this 1-minute trend, on the 15-minute, a long wick off that buy, but then a strong push and engulfing candle, not quite engulfing, but a strong buy candle there, but it's wicked off the quarter theory. And this next 15-minute one has opened as a sell candle, wicking off quarter theory. So again, notice our price trap between quarter theory and the pitchfork. So price, although it's a fast pair, price might want to play around in this area a bit before it finally, this is down at the 5-minute. There's that doji candle. It's just going to pop. We just want it to pop up there, don't we? Before we get in, because you see how on the 1-minute it's just doing this little stall out on quarter theory. So you just need to pick your timing. Sounds obvious, doesn't it? All our trades, we need to pick our timing, because we don't want it to fall back in this area for a while. We want to make sure we've got that momentum push up, not these sell candles. In my case, green. I don't use the red, I use blue for buy, green for sell. So you can just see, we'll just watch this for a little bit. So it's just doing its thing here. It might come back down and test this again. So we'll put a alert. Oh, it's just coming up now, just as I was about to do the alert. I can see an old pitchfork actually. I'll take that off. I've got an old pitchfork here. Pink one. I show that to you there. If you're on your phone, you can see how it's wicked off to the pip off that old pitchfork. So we want it to clear that because it is respecting it, and there's no point in getting ourselves into trouble. So I'll put an alert down that old pitchfork, because that would be the place to get in as it clears. Just clears that area. I'd rather lose a few pips and make sure I'm clear, good to go, especially on a fast pair where we're going to get the pips. So add alert on trend line, and we can just let it do its thing and then look for something else. So on this take profit on GA, if it does go, which it should do in a minute, then we're looking to take that up to that 50 pip range at quarter theory up here. That is our take profit zone up to that pitchfork at 60 pips because of the speed of the pair. Okay, so that's just wanting to push above. It's just coming above now. The alert's going to go off, so we need to wait on this one. And nicely above the 62 in the 1 minute trend. We could now put a tighter trend line on, and that's the hourly candle, so I might be able to anchor it there, and I could do something like this for our second. Sorry, I've got everything in all the same colors. It's probably a bit confusing. Put that in pink. I'll put it in yellow because I've got that old pink trend line in pink. So it's just coming up to our point of entry at around, I just want it to do, because it's very small candles at the moment. The volume on the movement is not a lot. It's just hugging along the quarter theory. So our lowest entry point is going to be 1.81530. It's just popping out of that now. So that looks like a trade set up to me now, because we've got the curl back on this side. It's wicked below on the 1 minute. The body of the candle has cleared the quarter theory. So I'm going to stop share and I'm going to get into this one. I need to put that on my chart. But remember, you know, it's up to you. Please do your own analysis. Please do your own analysis as well. And that's at GA 1.81589. Let's go back to share screen. And that's just shot off. So I got in at 1.81589. I was in a little bit late, but that is moving now. So let's see how we go with that. So that's good. I can take off my alert. And I'm going to put my usual lines on that I like to monitor my trades. 5, 9, and I'm going to put my stop profit in. I was a little bit late off this, but a tiny bit late on that candle. Stop profit at, so really you should do it off your pitchfork or your quarter theory in this case. 600 should really be 650, 650 for 15 pips. It should be round about here technically, tight, but 650 should be there. 589 plus 15 pips would be 18739. So because I was in late, or 739. Oh, have I done that wrong? Yes, I have. No, I haven't. I haven't done it wrong. That should be up there. Just adjust these settings. 589. profit level. I've just set it at 20 pips because that's our standard 2 to 1. So I'm just going to put an alert here to see how it's going. Add alert. I'll put stop profit in. And we'll wait for that because this is the other thing. It's torture to keep looking at trades. So this pink line is where my 15 pips is off entry. But this line here, the 650, is technically where it should have been if I'd gotten tighter off that quarter theory, but just as it cleared the pitchfork, so round about there. So we'll leave that one to play out at the moment. So that's GA, we're in that for a buy. Euro USD, I'm not sure there was anything on this. That's just come off the extensions on that pitchfork, that on that scan I've got. Chance didn't have that. Yes, he did have Euro USD, but if we're in, sorry, so, but I haven't got what he's got and I can't see a new scan on that. I can't see any new Euro USDs myself, so he must, I don't know what he was looking at. I'll just briefly look at the, there's nothing that I can see. So I haven't got anything on that, and if I did, I'd be looking, we're looking at Euro NZD for a buy. That's my preferred one, and this is outside. I'll just double check my object tree. See, oh, I have got some that are hidden. See what pitchforks are behind here. And if anyone's got any hourly scans of Euro JPY, I have got some in the group that I can look back through. Can you send them to me? Because I've done something completely hideous, setting up new charts for something else. There's one, there's a pitchfork, and I've deleted my Euro JPY chart. So somewhat gutted at the moment. I've got to recreate what I can. So I've got a green pitchfork here. Style. Just bring that up a bit more for you. So there's my pitchfork here. We've got the 62 above the 15-minute, just dipping below. It's just ranging a bit, isn't it? It's looking like it's wanting to move up. There's a shallow upward trend there, but we haven't got, we've had a break and a retest down below. Not quite sure what this, it could be coming back down into this scan. So let's see what EN's doing at the moment. That's pushing down as well. So the Euro is going down on a couple of correlating pairs. I can't show you Euro JPY because I have a blank new chart at the moment. So we wouldn't want to look at that till it comes back into these extensions anyway, if it is going to go that way down. So I'll just set an alert down here, but I'm not too keen on selling the Euro at the moment, but then it's not up to me to dictate what the charts are doing. And I'll put that this side of the inner Fibonacci, add alert, because I'd rather be in that Euro NZD when it behaves itself and turns around and goes for the buy in that shark scan. That's the one I'd rather follow. And you don't need to do every trade, just pick some good ones and stick to a few good trades. So that's, but that'll help us see what it's doing anyway. So I'm going to close Euro USD. Euro USD. HourGlass is coming down, but nothing for us at the moment. I'm going to close that one so that we don't bother going back to it. Let's look at some more London pairs. EuroCAD, he did have, I think, he had that for a sell. Let's see where that is on the pitchforks and the setup. So I don't know what pitchfork he's looking at, but I've still got that alert set from my scan. I haven't got a new scan that I can see. So I wasn't going to look at this until down there. If I come back to the hourly, let's see what's changed. So I've got it sat now in my second pitchfork that I drew. It's come out of the scan, that pink one, and it's down in my second pitchfork. I don't know why I've put the alert right down there. I'm going to take that off and come back. I've got all those. That still looks fine to me as a second pitchfork. Just come to the 15-minute, have a look at the lines on there. Come down to the 1 minute. So again, euro seems to be selling at the moment, which is annoying, not what we want. So stall out all the way along here in Tokyo. The 62's crossed below the 15-minute, and we are waiting for it to come down to this level, but you may not have my second pitchfork, obviously. So I'll just put the trend line here and look at that when it comes back into this second pitchfork, if that's what it's going to do. And I quite like EuroCAD, make a decision then. So EuroCAD, that's all I've got on that one. And next one, let's look at EuroGBP, another London pair, obviously. A bit slower because they're similar. And I'll have to remind myself of the scan on this one. So that has rejected down off our latest scan, and it is back into this green one here. I've got quite a lot on this chart, so I can't quite see. I know I haven't drawn any second pitchforks on EuroGBP because it's a slower pair, and I'm pretty sure I wouldn't do that. I know I haven't. I only do it generally on the faster, some of the faster ones, or the ones I. So this has now, the 62's crossed down. I missed that alert. I'll take that off. And again, the euro is pushing down. So we've got our trend line coming down here. Let me find, it's come out of that scan. Let me find my scan that it's in, which must be this one. Bring that up a bit more. So we've just had a rejection off that pitchfork. So that is definitely selling. So if it retouches the 62 and curls round, then there is a trade there with that strong downward momentum. Not too keen on it myself. I just want to wait. We're in one already. I don't want to do loads of trades these days. I just want to do 1 or 2 good ones a day and leave it at that. Monday to Thursday, preferably Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. You know, that's more than sufficient really to do what you need to do. I appreciate when you're starting off, you know, you've got to practice and build things up. I do know that. So there's our trend line. That's following that nicely. And so we've got the break and retest off the pitchfork. The 62 has crossed, and we've got the downward momentum in our favor on that one. So you have got a trade entry there. I'll go into that on my demo. It'll open up. Just moving down. I don't know why this is so slow. Eurgbp. I'm doing this on, whoops. I'll say no to that for the moment. I don't quite know what that's doing. Let's move my, seem to have lost. Oh, my JFX has gone a bit weird. Never mind. Don't know why. Eurgbp, where have you gone? Come here, my little friend. New order. Sell. Bit late in, but it's on demo. That's saying minus. That's the broker's spread. Come back to trade. Put the stop loss in at 10 pips. From your price 89190, so that would make it 89210 because stop loss must be above because we're in for a sell. So 89190. Mark it up on my chart. 89. As I say, a bit slower, a bit lower down than technically you'd probably want to be if you could, but you still covered your pitchfork. So we'll see how that plays out, and I'll put a 10 pip, should really be off the pitchfork, 250, should really be at 89350. Sorry, 150 should really be there for the 10 pips, but I came in late, so I'm only about 4 or 5 pips off that. So that's technically where your stop profit should be, where you put the 1 pip stop profit in, or be just above on that pitchfork as you squeeze down your stop profit, so you're covering the 62 and you're behind your previous high to keep yourself safe on the trade. So I'll just move that down because I was in late, and I'll make that so I was in at 190, so 090 would be for me 10 pips, and there's 20 pips down, so our take profit area is going to be down at 89052, which is the pitchfork, down to that zone of 89001, but it's not a hugely fast pair, as we know. I'll add alert on there and put in stop profit in. So we're in that for a sell, which means we don't want to be looking at any buys on the euro, correlating pairs and all that. So we'll see how that plays out. I've just done that on demo, show you what to do and the things we look at. As you know, my ideal trading is where we have a quarter theory as well. So we've got a double barrier, but we've got a nice strong downward trend. We're underneath the 62. We've got the nice break and retest off the pitchfork, and it's following the 1 minute trend down. But as soon as you can, you want to get your 1 pip stop profit in. If we'd got in higher up, this area here, how many pips did that break? 7.2. So if we'd got in aggressively here or here, then our stop profit would only be 10 pips away, round about here, and then you'd be putting your stop profit in up here. You want to be as tight on the pitchfork as you can with any trade that you're in. Okay, and if you'd missed all that, then back to the 1 minute just misses the 62, so second entry up here, and that would have been again a tighter entry that looks quite decent to me. So we'll see how we get on with that one. I've still got some scans to draw up, but we won't do those on this session. If we've got nothing else to look at, I might draw one of them just so you can see how to draw a scan. Chef JPY, these bottom ones I don't have, I either don't trade. I don't trade a lot of the crosses, or I don't have a lot of scans, or like JPY, I don't want to particularly, I know Chance looks at them all. I don't particularly want to look at that this morning because it's an Asian session pair. Having said that, was that one of his? No, he had NZD JPY. So let's just, I'm not even sure what scans I've got on that. Where's it gone? Might not even have it. It's not one that I trade a lot at all. Well, obviously I've never traded it because I can't even find a setup on it. So I'm pretty sure I did have everything there. Some of them I don't, as you know, on the Swiss ones I don't have scans on everything. Right, let's find another Gbpcad. That's the London session pair that quite a fast one, racy one. He obviously didn't have any setups on it this morning. It wasn't on his list. Doesn't look like I've got anything. Oh, it's come. I'm going to take that alert off from last week. It's come back into this green one now. It didn't like that steep one too much, did it? So it's come back into this big one with the D point off the 31st of July. Nice big scan there. Sell scan, but oh damn, just clicked off. But with the pitchforks pointing upwards, which isn't brilliant. 670, huge scan. So technically you'd want the pitchforks pointing down, but they are not. But let's have a look at this on the 1 minute. So we've got, as you might expect, GBP's going up because Euro's going down at the moment. We've got the 62 above the 15 minute. It's just dipped down on the quarter theory. And we have got a little upward trend there. But we've also got a downward trend. So there's a shallow upward trend. So we're waiting for it to price to come above that and go on up. So we've got a very big leg there, so to speak. So that's 158. So again, that's something we could look at as quarter theory. But we've got the 62 dipping down at the moment, which we don't want. We don't like that. So just put a long position on there and set an alert if you want to follow this one. Put that up at 20. That's 15 pips for this one, as it's a fast pair. So that's what we're looking at there. So it could be coming down to test that 15 minute. Just look at what the Hull says, which is an exit strategy, but we just see what the bands say, whether it's saying red for sell, because I was just wondering whether it's going to give us a red band. No, it's a lagging indicator, but it has got a 15-minute green band, which is for buying. But as I say, it doesn't mean to say it won't turn to red, because we've had two quite long red 1 minute reversals there. So it was red all the way there. So as I say, it's a lagging indicator. We're looking at the 15 minute. Okay, so a lot of that will be relating to this previous red band. So maybe it is turning back for the buy. So take that off. So keep an eye on that one, but you want to, I'll put an alert on that quarter theory. Gbpcad, crossing, quarter theory. Let's see what happens there, if that indeed is going to carry on up. So that's Gbpcad. Let's do our mothing, where we like to go and look at GN, because we know we shouldn't, so immediately we want to go and look at it, which shows we're all very naughty people and shows what we were all like at school. So it's just been ticking along between the 62 and the 15-minute, doing its thing. Not very much at the moment. Let's see when it was moving. So it's dropped out of our D point scan. It's in this very big pink one, and I always have to remind myself what that one is. Because it goes way back. It's this one from the 1st of July. This pink one from the 1st of July, which was a buy scan. Look at all those scans it's made since then. Phenomenal, isn't it? So let's come back to our 1 minute. I've got all these old, let me just get rid of all those old risk and reward stuff. Okay, so marking this up. The 62 tried to cross below but didn't like it. I'm not always hugely keen on quarter theory trades. We seem to be seeing a lot of them, but normally I don't really do them a lot. So I don't know why we keep seeing them, because I'm not trying to look for them. So that again, little upward momentum there on this trend line. Draw your trend line and anchor it. Anchor that wrong. Come down to the bottom one. Let's take off that extend right. So there's a little trend going up there. But as you can see at the moment, GN is ranging. So we'll put an alert on our quarter theory and see if that comes up for a buy on GN. But trade at your peril on this one. Chance tells us not to do it. And to be honest, I probably won't do it. I'm quite relaxed about it. Don't need to, get into trouble with things. If I did get in it, it would be up at this area probably, where I've got both a pitchfork and a quarter theory to protect me. And I could see it was a strong momentum trade carrying on up. Okay. So that's GN. But I do like to watch things. I do like to practice. I do like to talk out loud, see if it plays out the way I think it did. Because it's all part of our journey of improving as a trader every day, isn't it? GBP GNZD. What's our Euro GBP doing? Taken us out. Dropped below. Where's the history on that? Price stop loss 89210. GA alert has gone off. Did I do my stop loss wrong on that then? Right, anyway, let's go back to other matters. At least that was on demo. Right, GA, I've got my stop profit going off. So I have a decision to make because it's a fast pair and I'm quite far off the pitchfork. So I don't really want to be putting it there at the moment. I've got to give it a bit of room to breathe. So you've either got to put it 3 pips, you've just got to start to squeeze it in, or you could safely put it a couple of pips, say 2 pips, in case it wicked back to quarter theory in the pitchfork. So for me, I probably don't dare put it there because it could swing back that far. The previous lows are down here in this zone. So I think I'm going to leave it just for a moment. It's pushing up very nicely. coming up to the last 10 minutes of the hour where we get our fake outs. I'm sorry about that Euro GBP. I must have miscalculated my stop loss. I don't understand that because it was only 10 pips. It's not exactly a difficult calculation. But I'll look at it in a minute because this is more important. Let me measure my to there, 3 pips. Where's my phone? Let's just see what happens this one. I was just going to do a quick screenshot of this. People like the little videos of us trading. Photo video. I'll just press the button on a couple of seconds. Just say, oh, didn't do that. Effects, photo, video. So I'll just say live trading with the team. We're in GA for a buy. The alarm's gone off for stop profit in, so we're just deciding where to put our stop profit. And it should move very nicely, being a fast pay. You can see the strong momentum up. And here's some of the team who are on with us today. So look forward to seeing how this goes. Right. Live trading with the... Thanks, guys. Sorry about that. I'd like to put that in our quantum FX group, Les. So this is moving up very nicely. So I'm just going to have a look at that. So I think I'm going to put my stop profit can go. I don't like to be, you can see the 62 is coming up quite nicely, isn't it? So probably only move this up 15 pips to say 10 pips stop loss for me I could put in. So I'll just stop share on this and use my slider bar. Right. Oh, I've got something in the chat. Could you please share your ideas of good ones, Sarah? Well, I'm endeavouring to do that. That's what we do. And equally, if you come across any good ones, let me know. So, yes, because sometimes I try and go through all the pairs, but I think it's best for the sessions. I just want to start with the... If it's Tuesdays and Wednesdays, that's when Chance has been on channel 20. So I make a list of what he's gone through. Sometimes I have his pitchfork, sometimes I don't. I don't get time while he's on because he goes fast to mark every pair up the same way he's marked them up. But I do mark them as buy or sell. And then I like to look at the London pairs. So for us, it's the London pairs for this session, Monday to Thursday. If we've run out of time looking at those, then I will go to the other pairs, obviously, and depending on news. So if there's any London session pair news, then obviously hitting while we're trading, then we avoid those an hour either side of the red flag news. And some days, particularly Monday mornings, not my favorite time to trade at all. I quite like Sunday nights if I'm up doing chart markups. So this is hitting the 20 pips. So good setups, yes, and also, as we know, it depends on time of day and everything else. So so this is now hitting our 20 pips. You do not want to get out of this trade. I suggest at the moment, it's entirely up to you. But why not? Because it's GA, because you can look to see if you can stretch this. As we said, it's a fast pair. Look at it, it's going up very fast to 40 pips to that quarter theory. You've got the 62 has now come up above quarter theory and my old pitchfork there. We had that strong momentum break off this here, up there, down, bang, up, off that pitchfork down there. And you're above the 1 minute trend line. I'll just extend that for you here. And we're above the the correct side of the 62 EMA. Now, there is an argument to be said, fast money up, secure the bag. So don't get over greedy and keep pushing your stop profit up. You know, you don't want to sit suddenly crash down on you and then you're in a loss. Do not let that happen. So you could move it to your 1 pip and not stay behind the 62. It's quite a tight judgment, because sometimes you have to let these pairs pull right back. But and it hasn't done, and I was a bit late in, a little bit late on that candle there. It's a bit 5 pips late. So technically you could say it's done its 20 pips. So you could take your money for your trade goal. You can say, I'll let it pull back to this 1 minute trend line. It is a fast pair. It should do a nice move. Now it's got everything going for it. It's got everything going for it at the moment. Look at that momentum here. And let's look at one more while that's doing its thing. Because we're in this bit of the fake out this last few minutes. So one more to look at before we go. Gbp Gbpcad. We've got the 62 buying. We've got it rejecting off quarter theory. We've got quarter theory and a pitchfork. I deliberately had 2 pitchforks on because I've got extensions up here. I think that was why. But it doesn't look like it likes that quarter theory at the moment. It could dip back down on there. But technically that orange is saying buy. So you've got mixed messages on this at the moment. It's pitchfork there and quarter theory saying sell. 62 at the moment. It's just hugging along it, but it is technically buying because it is above the blue 15 minute. And one more. Euro Ord, where were we on that one? Oh yes, he did have that this morning as a buy. I thought I'd looked at it, but I hadn't. Let's just have a look at what that did. 1 minute chart. Yeah, he maybe had, that is working its way up. Maybe he was on this pitchfork. I can't remember which pitchfork he was on. And I don't know why I had that alert up there. I'm going to remove that. Sometimes the markets move on and ideas change. So that did do, it was between in that price trap, pitchfork and quarter theory. It's a fast pair. So it did breaks and retests and rejections all the way into that area. So the orange stayed above. It didn't really cross below. It couldn't break through quarter theory for a long time, even though it's a fast pair, but it's now done that, and the 62 is pushing up. So if this gives you, I think this is a sell scan. I can see that pitchfork pointing down. That is just 60 pips, so it's a bit cheeky, but technically I think if it comes back to the quarter theory and you can see that strong momentum carrying on up, you might want to carry on taking a buy on it. But I always say, well, why do you want to squeeze trades out of this? Why not just go for the good quality trades, the ones you really like, because that is a sell scan off the 14th of August out to the outer extensions. It has come down past our median, so we can take buys as well as sells. So I mean, that's okay. And that scan is C to D 200. So okay, so we've only got 50 pips. So don't take a quarter theory trade. Don't take a quarter theory trade. let's look at where we're going to put our alert. So I suggest that we wait until our alert goes off up in this area here. And see if it rejects or comes on through. That's it. There we are. Because what we're looking for is, if that comes up again, so we want it to, it'll either do that or it'll come on through like that. And those are the only two moves that price can make that we're interested in. And I think that's about it for today. So unless you've got any questions, I'll see you all tomorrow, same time, 9 a.m. UK time. I'll post any setups that I see, but Helen's coming round later today, which is very nice. So it's a year since we first met in person, so she's bringing champagne with her. And better still, she's not drinking very much, so because she's driving as well. So that's a very generous thing. Right, so let's stop this and see if we've got anything in the chat. Nothing else. I have an old PF on GA. Thanks, Charlie. 8183. Maybe I'll look. I don't know why I haven't got that. Gareth equal Vanda. Oh, it's Vanda. Okay, Vanda. I will share my good ideas, of course. I try to have good ideas and see good ideas and share them. So thanks very much. I'll stop the recording.